Hi. So, Suzanne, thank you so much for being here and talking to me like this today. So, what prompted you to take the Breaking the Isolation course?
Um, well, I was looking for some ways to help myself. I'd done a lot of work on myself, because I had a traumatic childhood and I have a chronic illness, so I was pretty isolated at home. And I thought, there's got to be a better way to live than, isolated by myself here. So I thought this was a good way for me to try something out, that was safe, from home where I can, join in with other women or people and, people with um, backgrounds that maybe would understand, some of the things that I'm going through and have gone through. So I was just looking for ways to help myself basically. And it seemed like a perfect fit, came across my path at the right time and so grateful for that.
That's awesome. Thank you. And indeed, we are open to both men and women, but we haven't had any men yet, but maybe one day.
We're accepting.
Yeah. And do you feel that the course has been a benefit to you?
Oh, big time. I'm actually surprised at the benefit, honestly, because I've done some coursework before, and I've had some small gains, but I mean, this course really took me by surprise of what it's done for my life. And I speak about it quite often, actually, to friends of mine here. I'm in the Midwest, and I talk to them about, really, I think what happened for me is, to sum it up in a sentence, is I went from surviving to thriving. And, you know, basically I was in survival mode from childhood, from all the trauma that had gone on. And then chronically ill, that's another thing of survival. So I just pretty much been existing, and I'd kind of given up on dreams and goals and, all those things after a while. And I think this course kind of ignited something in me again for the first time. And as I worked on myself, and you helped me and the other ladies work, within, and then also acclimate back into life one small step at a time, it really did take me to where I'm still got health issues, but I mean, the change in my life is like night and day. I mean, it's so exciting to see what's ahead. And
So,
what's
what are
already.
some specific ways
For
that you changed?
one, I was very isolated where we lived. My husband and I lived kind of out in the country for 10 years, and our rural, area. So we were literally isolated, from people around pretty much. And then I had no friends or family, not many in the area. So I decided and talked him into putting our house on the market and moving to another state. So we did that, fairly quickly. And I mean, that was just really the beginning of opening up our lives. And, since then I'm surrounded by a community of people that are supportive, for not only my health concerns, just us in general in life. And I think really what it did also was build confidence within me, and I
Mhm.
think that takes you a long way. I think when you have a lot of trauma and, you're in that survival mode or whatever, I think that it kind of breaks you down a little bit, and you lose a piece of yourself. And I think by building that up again in myself, it's really, I think people are drawn to that, like a light. And I feel I've had people tell me that, and I find that fascinating as well. And I'm just so grateful that of everything that's happened. So we did that, and we've made a lot of new friendships, and started a new church in the area, and that's been, helping faith wise, grow leaps and bounds. And there's just all kinds of changes going on. So each week is kind of a wild ride for us now. So it's a different kind of life, and I just, hang on for the ride and look forward to what's ahead. Instead of fearful, I'm looking forward to what's ahead, and that's a big change for me. Really.
Wow, that just gave me chills actually. So that's so exciting, and it's so nice to hear. And so, would you recommend the course?
Of course, I mean,
Well, and
literally.
why?
I just think I love the way you lay it out. I love the way that you do, the first, I think it's 4 weeks are working within, because it all starts there. We have to, make the changes within ourselves that we can. And then the last half of the course is acclimating back into life, because when you've been isolated for so long, either physically or emotionally or whatever the case, it takes a little bit to make yourself vulnerable and go back into life. And I think the way you take it is, take a step by step. It's not overwhelming, it's not making you want to crawl back into, the hole that you're in. Sometimes it's just really really a good pace, I think, and you're there every step of the way. The other ladies, in the course were there, and that really helps to kind of cheer you on, I think, or hold your hand in a sense, when you're fearful of taking that step. And I think that was a really big part for me. And
That's,
also, I love the meditations. I mean, she's got some
oh,
meditations. You've got some meditations on there that are so soothing to me that I still listen to, to this day, just to, when I get in that state of, anxiety or whatever, it just kind of helps damper that response down and get me to a point where I'm less triggered, and I think that's an important part too. So,
that's
so
so
yeah,
good to hear.
I would definitely recommend the course to anyone that is wanting to, work on themselves and have the support, while they do it. I think that's really important as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything. And I appreciate your ongoing presence in the group as well.
Yeah,
So
no problem. Happy
really
to.
appreciate it.